being is the fact that we're a privacy-orientated search engine. So this means Mojeek doesn't possess any personal identifiable information. We're at a very good stage at the moment with the coverage of the web, and it means we have one of the largest web search indexes in the world. But whether or not people are moving completely away from Google, just being willing to use an alternative every now and then is a great first step.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Slightly different video today. We're going to be doing a Q&A. Q&A of one of our longest standing clients, Mojeek. Going to give you a little bit of an insight into them, who they are, their time with us at Custodian, and kind of why they're disruptors in the market and a great British tech company, to be honest. So I'm here with Finn, who heads up commercial for Mojeek. So we'll go into a little bit more detail about what Finn does for Mojeek. But before we start, Finn, how you doing?
Yep, good.
Thanks for coming down.
Yep, that's all right.
You're down enough anyway in the DC as it is.
Yeah,
I think just for our viewers, obviously, many of them probably don't know too much about Mojeek. So if you could just give it a bit of an insight into who they are. Yeah,
sure. So I think the best place would be to start with our mission, which is our mission is to build the world's alternative search engine. A search engine that does what's right, that values privacy, and provides our own unique and unbiased results. So it's quite a big task we have up against us, considering the industry we're in. But for me personally, I am, whatever you want to call it, head of marketing, media relations, PR, spokesperson. But basically, I'm the guy who's going out and trying to spread the word of what we're doing and why it's such an ambitious and exciting project that we want people to be talking about.
Okay, and I think, for when people think of search engines, they probably don't think anything's too different to Google, but what kind of makes you different to Google and the rest of the competition?
Yeah, no, that's one core differentiator to say Google or Bing is the fact that we're a privacy-orientated search engine. So this means Mojeek doesn't possess any personal identifiable information on those who use it. So this includes your IP address, your search history, and your click behavior. We believe it's your right to search the web without someone looking over your shoulder. In fact, we were the first ever search engine to state that we don't track those who use Mojeek, and we've been committed to privacy ever since. But we think the most important differentiator to other search engines is the fact that we're completely independent. So we have our own algorithms and database of web pages. So this means we can provide an alternative source of information for what's out there. This differs to some meta search engines out there like Startpage or DuckDuckGo, who use the results from another mainstream search engine. For DuckDuckGo, that would be Bing primarily. For Startpage, it would be Google. So this means that they recycle what's already out there, whereas we're providing a genuine alternative. But we believe alternative choices are important, but we believe it's just as important that these alternatives do things differently. And that's why we're building Mojeek.
Sure, and I think just to give some context for our viewers as well, so you're up 2 billion pages index right now. So I think when you joined Custodian, first placed your kit with us, it was something around 100 million pages. So that's some substantial growth in 5 years. So for many people watching this, they'll want to know, how does a search engine operate at such a young age? Obviously, we see Google with their humongous campuses and stuff like that, but what's the team setup at Mojeek?
The team setup? So, for much of its early life, if we go back even further, it started with just our founder, Mark, who built Mojeek from scratch, which means it doesn't have any pre-existing search technology with it. It actually started from his bedroom with 2 servers.
Is that not a typical tech story?
Of course, yeah. But with 2 servers and a laptop from his bedroom. And he never actually planned to put it online. But after showing it to a few impressed people, he just went all out on it. Got a bit of traction, and that's what led to our growth to over 2 billion pages in our index. But it was predominantly him for much of our life. And only in the last few years, we've started to create a team. So we have, when we all work remotely as well, but we have a developer in Eastbourne, and we have someone up in Scotland, and we have me in Hove, and then Mark, obviously, in Eastbourne as well. So very small team still, but a core team, which means we can get a lot done.
So that's you guys now. So where do you kind of see Mojeek in 4 or 5 years' time?
our main focus is increasing the size of our search index.
Sure.
So at the moment, like you mentioned, we have over 2 billion pages. We have planned in place to quadruple this within the next 12 to 24 months.
Sure.
So this means we'll have a wider coverage of the web, but also improving the quality and the relevance of the results you see on Mojeek. But we will also be looking to add more features to improve the overall experience on Mojeek, and this would include things like incorporating maps and local business listings. So yeah, we're at a very good stage at the moment. Sure. With the coverage of the web, and it means we have one of the largest web search indexes in the world. But these next few years it's going to be see some substantial growth,
sure.
Which will.
That's great. So how do you, Mojeek, feel right now that the market? Because obviously you're disruptive in the market. How do you feel that it's going right now? How would you think people's impression of Google is, and where you stand with all that?
Yeah, so it's clear that Google are the dominant search engine in the field right now, and convincing people to look towards alternatives or even consider an alternative is difficult. But there are signs of it happening. Sure. So one being in relation to reclaiming your privacy online. People are growing more and more aware of how companies like Google are abusing trust, using this data to send you targeted advertising. This is what their business model is based on. Sure. So they're not going to change unless forced to by regulation or users just abandoning their services. So if they're not going to change, then hopefully people will look elsewhere. But it's also, I think people are becoming more worried about their monopoly status in the world of search. Right now, our access to information is a critical part of our everyday lives. Yeah. And Google is the most dominant provider of that information. Sure. But with that dominance comes tremendous power and influence. So much so you have to ask yourself what the consequences be of that power. Sure. So people are starting to question this, but whether or not people are moving completely away from Google, just being willing to use an alternative every now and then is a great first step. Yeah. Because that means we won't be left with just Google. Yeah. And in which case, choice and competition will be gone.
So you guys have been with Custodian for some time now, 5 years I think, and we have some similarities I think between each other. Obviously we're both very keen on sustainable building, so I just want to know what sort of Mojeek's reasoning was for choosing Custodian as a home to grow, really.
Sure. So at the beginning, going back a while when we just had the 2 servers and a laptop, at that stage it suited our setup. But as a search engine, by crawling the web and indexing it, that we need a lot of server space. So one reason would be for expanding, sure. And Custodian, it can help us grow. But also as a search engine, our servers need to be connected 24/7, and we use more power than most. So we recognize the importance to minimize our footprint on the environment, and something we believe to be very important to us. So when we were looking for data centers years ago, after Custodian won the Green Data Center Award, that resonated really well with Mark at the time. Sure. And was a perfect fit.
So yeah, thanks for that. That's
right.
really interesting. So I just wanted to give our viewers a bit of an insight into yourselves. So if you thinking about it now, and obviously I'm sure that you are, then just head to mojeek.com or mojeek.co.uk, and then have a little look around, use that search, and then there could be a new alternative there for you guys. So please do leave a comment, a like, subscribe. We want to keep bringing you more content, more days in a life, more whiteboard sessions, so do let us know, and we'll see you soon. Thanks a lot, guys.